Hey guys, well it is snowing and it is snowing a lot. I guess they're calling it Snowmageddon 2015. That's the hashtag everybody's using now. So my job is an hour away and there's no way I'm getting back up there today. When I went there on Friday, it took me 2.5 hours to get back home. You can see I was not going to do that again. But since I'm home and I've really got nothing to do right now, I was editing the second book, Resonance, my second book. This is the first book. And then I decided, I'm going to read another chapter from Embassy, post it on YouTube, see what happens. So here I go. And my cat is sitting underneath my chair right now. He's just kind of lounging. Yeah, if I can open up to the page. As you can see, we've got part 1, the recruits. This is after the prologue. Chapter 1. June 6th, Undalian time, standard year 4319. When I entered the examination room, it's empty. I have a knack for being early to these kinds of things. It's not like I have anything better to do. I sit in the last seat of the first row and stare at the desk panel. The Undal Embassy crest floats above the screen, cast by a small projector sticking out up from the corner. I poke my finger through it, but the crest doesn't move. You need tendril gloves if you want to interact with the holograms, and there's not a single pair in sight. Every desk is the same. Thin glass panels with the embassy crest floating above them. At the head of the room is a larger panel, the proctor's desk. His projector displays the time and currently shows 7:43 a.m. At 7:49, the next person walks in and sits at the front of the room. I don't think he even saw me. He's older, maybe in his 30s. A latecomer. Someone who wants to join the embassy years after graduating from secondary. More people arrive as the minutes drag on. Surprisingly, most of them are latecomers. One of them sits down and waves his hand through the desk hologram and looks severely disappointed when it doesn't spin. He looks at the girl he walked in with and frowns. Then he sees me watching and waves. I drop my eyes and don't look at him again. Who is he? I've never seen that guy in my life. The last person walks in exactly at 8 o'clock, and it's none other than Glacia Haverns, or rather, the Glacia Haverns. Her parents own a private textile and tailoring shop, and as far as I know, they don't have any direct connections to the embassy. Glacia is notorious for being Cornell's adrenaline junkie. In secondary, she aced every flying simulation the officials gave her, most of which exceeded the abilities of every other student. But she's most famous for her hologist skills. The girl holds every single arena record. She's ambidextrous and will literally jump off the wall to pelt you in the face with a hologist sphere. I know that from experience. Multiple experiences. 8:01. The proctor is late. The placement report was supposed to start at 8 o'clock. The guy who waved to me is thinking the same thing. His legs are shaking, and he keeps folding and unfolding his arms. At one point, he leans through his hologram to try and see out the door. People start mumbling and whispering, "Where are they?" to each other. Aside from Glacia, I don't recognize anybody, so nobody whispers to me. Good, because I don't feel like talking to them. I just want to get this over with and find out my score. I need to join the embassy. I don't have any other choice. Mother and the twins are counting on me to provide support. And Ladio is waiting for me on Belfane. 5 minutes late. 10 minutes late. The twitchy guy stands up and jumps to the door. He looks both ways and suddenly sprints back to his desk, nearly colliding with the black-haired guy in the first row. A woman rushes through the door. Lieutenant Victoria Hoffhen, one of Father's colleagues who works with General Orcher. Her long braid swings over her shoulder as she drops into the seat behind the proctor's desk and taps the panel to activate the placement report. "Sorry I'm late," she says, clearly out of breath from running. "I was just down the street, stopped at the, Abandoning her explanation, Victoria swipes her ID across the panel. The embassy crest vanishes from above my desk and a new display appears, asking me to log my personal information. A confused murmur moves around the room. "Gloves," Victoria realizes, straightening up quickly before bending down and checking through the desk's drawers. "They're somewhere around here. Gloves, gloves. Aha!" She scrambles around the room, haphazardly handing pairs of tendril gloves to people. I strap on mine and enter the information. When I finish, the display disappears and the projector deactivates. The rest of the exam will be taken on the panel so that nobody's answers are left floating in the air for everyone to see. Right. The MC wants 5 recruits from the cities this year, Victoria says, her hand hovering near a holographic icon that reads begin, except backwards. You have 90 questions, 2 essays, and 3 hours. Unanswered questions are marked wrong. Your essays will be judged by embassy officials. My chance to see Ladia rides on this exam. The last 4 years of my life have come down to the next 3 hours. I breathe out to calm my nerves. It shouldn't be too difficult. I've worked too hard and lost too much sleep to fail now. Ladia is counting on me. It's the only way we can be together again. Start now. Victoria taps the icon. My panel lights up with a list of questions. I touch my finger to one and stare at it. Where did the embassy program originate, and which standard year? Too easy. I type Earth and standard 3092. My eyes flick down the page. In the absence of a city's ambassador, who is designated to oversee all duties held in his domestic office? I know this. I write City Exchange Secretary. And on to the next. A buzzer sounds off at the end of the 3 hours, and Victoria touches her screen to lock all the submissions. I finished my essays 20 minutes ago, and have been sitting here counting the seconds. The recruits will be announced publicly, and I will personally notify you of your scores. Victoria sits back in her seat and motions at the door. Have a nice day, people. Everyone stands and files into the hall. As soon as they clear the room, people start muttering about how disorganized and unreliable Victoria was, and that's a mystery how she even got chosen to proctor such an important exam. As the crowd disperses, I find myself a few steps behind Glacia. Her dark blonde hair swishes down her back. She has a sort of swagger to her step, thumbs jammed in her pockets. It's annoying. She's always been like this, ever since the first time I met her at that stupid Hey. I realize Glacia's holding the outer door open for me. I grab it and look past her, searching the parking lot for my car. How'd you do? She asks. I shrug. You probably did fine, she goes on, walking right beside me now. That one guy in front of me, though, he kept shaking his leg. It was so distracting. I forced myself to laugh. Glacia sees her brother, Justin, who's standing near his car with his fiancée. She veers toward them, then spins around and shakes her fingers at me. Want to get ice cream? Celebrate finishing, you know? A solid 4 years we'll never get back. Can't. I spot my car and start toward it. Glacia stays where she is, looking expectantly at me. Come on, she insists. I'll even pay. Don't have time. Sorry. That's a lie. I have more than enough time, and I'll probably spend it doing nothing. As usual. My neighborhood is quiet except for the rush of hot wind and the distant noises of maglev cars gliding along the main throughway toward Cornell. Inside my house, Flavia and Aaron are running around, giggling their heads off, and Mother is sitting on the floor. The twins squeal in delight when they see me and run faster, feet stamping on the padded floor. How was it? Mother asks. I nod enthusiastically and crouch beside her. It was good. She smiles, but her lips haven't curled the same way in the 2 months since Father died. Are you hungry? Yeah. I stay with my sisters while Mother is in the kitchen. I pay attention to their game. They aren't just running in circles, they're playing tag. Whenever one touches the other, they reverse direction and resume the chase. Mother comes back into the front room. The twins pile into her lap, licking their lips and begging for a bite of the sandwich she brought me. Do you have plans tonight? Mother asks. I was just going to stay here. Like always. My eyes drift over to the door and stay fixed on it. I have 2 distinct memories of that door. The first was 4 years ago, the summer Ladia Purnell entered my life. The second is the morning Father walked out because of the emergency on Belvoon, only days after he met Aaron and Flavia for the first time. A hovercraft roars above the house, engines flaring in the dry air. Lieutenant Hoffman must be leaving Cornell. I'd love to fly on one of those. Leaves you breathless, seeing it all from up there, Father once said. Humbles you even. I still don't believe that. My life gets worse no matter how hard I fight. Just when I think I'm back in control, it crashes down. How can I appreciate not dying with Father? Where has it left me? There are no more stories to hear, no more adventures to imagine. If I'm accepted into the embassy, I'll have to make my journey alone. And that was chapter 1 of Embassy, like the official chapter 1. I'll probably make a chapter 2 video at some point this week because I have another day off on Saturday. Tomorrow I'll probably have a book haul for 2015 coming. I'm going to start doing more videos now that I know how to organize my time more with this job. So I hope you enjoyed the first chapter. If it interests you, you can get this on Amazon, Book Depository, Smashwords. Email me, I'll send you a signed copy. Yeah, and have at it.